Hello and welcome. We're going to take one of the most amazing freeware aircraft I found for X-Plane so far, which had been updated to actually work very nicely under X-Plane 12. Most likely I have a quick look video already published by the time you see this. It's the Monkey 1 update or migration of the Freeware DASH-8-100 aircraft to X-Plane 12. And I personally think this is such a well done product here, freeware product, that I'm really looking forward now to not only show it to you very quickly, but to actually try and do our usual try and fly scenario. And due to recent comments, so this is not going to be a perfectionist's fully professional video. I'm not in the Dash-8, especially not the old ones, completely down. I'm going to use the usual checklist stuff and kind of work myself through and get it to run. So if you're expecting perfectionism, tutorials and things like that, you may want to choose another video. All right, so let's have a look. I'm going to start this video in the dark because I also want to show you what the inside looks like in the dark, like the cockpit lighting and all that. So as you have already seen also in my quick look video, this is a really fantastic aircraft. I actually found an Air Greenland livery because Air Greenland, I'm not sure if they still do have exactly those, but for many years they were using the Q100s and 200s, I think, for all the connections between Greenland airports and also partially flying from Greenland over to Iceland. So it's actually a very realistic setup here. But I think the time of at least the old style Q100s is over, and they're replacing them now with more modern versions, also with more modern avionics. Freeware done several models, so he's done a Q100, then somehow you can switch this to Q200. I just haven't figured it out yet, but I don't think that the difference between the 100 and 200 is that large. And then there's a Q300, which is not used by Air Greenland, but it's based on the same code. And there's also a Q400. And every of the smaller ones, like the 100, 200, you have a very old version, which is only analog instruments, including the HSI and things like that. And which is probably the most likely combination that you usually will find, something with small displays, but still a lot of a big clock shop anyway, which is this one here. And then the newer generations, they get the screens that we know also from the FlyJSim Q400. And there is actually for the Q400 Freeware or Monkey 1, he's actually the one who did this X-Plane 12 conversion. So we have actually displays that look similar to what the FlyJSim Q400 has. It wouldn't have the system depth of that, obviously, but it's actually very well done, and you have quite a bit of choice in what kind of dash you want to fly. So from that point of view, and because it's freeware, I think it's a great little tool here for us. And here is the cockpit. And I have to say, there's so many things that are very good here. As I said in the quick look already, it reminds me very much of the old Majestic, the really old Majestic Dash. I think they were 200s, if I remember correctly. It's really well done. Yes, it is not as high fidelity as the FlyJSim would be, but is really, really well done enough so that you actually feel quite at home here. And I've been through the couple of pages of documentation, and the developers, and I think also Monkey One, the one Monkey One, I think it is on the forum explain.org. I think he's also done some really nice and nifty things in here. So a lot of the aspects of the real aircraft are at least attempted to be in there. All right. So really well done. I'm actually looking forward to give this now a try and hope that we're going to have a complete flight. Okay, let me show you some highlights of this cockpit. Again, very well done. There's a Navitab integration. How many Freeware aircraft come with a Navitab integration, especially when they're older ones? So really well done, because this just gives you your charts, and you could even put in the manual. I actually forgot to do that here. Although, hang on, I should be able to actually get to it. So XP12 aircraft, oops. What the? All right. Turboprop, DASH-8-Q100, docs, and there's the manual. And so we're now even able to read the manual in the cockpit. There you go. So here they explain exactly what they have built in. There is a Reality XP integration. So if you own the Payware Reality XP, look where it ends up here. Isn't that amazing? Now here you have actually the choice to use the standard FMC, made look like the universal FMS that is in the real airplane, or especially when you have the old variant with basically analog instruments everywhere, yeah, you have the choice. And I think Monkey One has written also in the PDF that the cockpit, the 3D cockpit, was slightly improved. For example, to make these instruments look a bit more 3D than I think they looked in the original version. So really, really well done. And there's a lot of hidden functionality in there. I might not even find and touch them all, but I've been reading, and it was again and again amazed by reading this and saying, oh, really? So pretty good. Now, in case you wonder what this is, looks a little bit alien in there, but it is actually something very important, because it helps you to see where your axis, your levers are, and how that translates into into the position. Now, I have a problem, and that is I can't really create an axis with a reverse part, because it's so difficult then not to get into the beta range all the time. So I use the beta range. I've kind of programmed reverse, which only will work when the engines are running. Basically, is full reverse, just to slow down the aircraft. You don't need much of it. It's just very difficult to do it otherwise, although we should really do it, but this is the 0 point of the axis, and I would need to then create, and I didn't want to do that. It's perfectly fine to use it like this, but yeah, there are some parts of realism that might not work out as it would be in real life. For example, here the disk position, we actually can't get to it when you have a normal setup. By the way, you can pull that down there, which is locking the power levers, just to make sure. Normally now you would be in the disk position, and that means that your throttle levers would move between the disk position and the idle position. Yeah, well, I think it can be done. I just don't want to change my profile for that. And I also didn't really work for me, you know. So I was continuously having to look for where is that idle point and all that, and the disk point. It's just too difficult for me. But you can do it if you want. This is the park brake, by the way. But the good thing is that here, and that's another important one. So we are in these are the two levers, the condition levers here, prop levers. We are now currently in the fuel off. For engine start, we're going to move it into the start position. Then we would, here's the unfeather area, and then we would kind of put it into minimum. And for takeoff, we put it into max, and while we're climbing out. But then during climb, we most likely put it somewhere here. And the good thing is that the 1050 position, which is a very common setting to be used, yeah, you can see it there. It will also show you where the flaps are, actually quite well done. If you want to close the doors, no problem. You can do so. It is actually possible to get into the cabin. I haven't programmed a view yet for that, and yeah, I'm not sure. Was there a lock? I'm not 100% sure if there is actually a lock that you need to use, but you can go through that door, and then you see a little, yeah, nice enough cabin. You could get yourself a view. It doesn't really look very good, the views here. And the door, as I say, there are some switches, and you can use them to open and close the door. And yeah, so here's these two displays. They were very common with the older versions of the Dash. And it's an awful lot of small little details, you know. There's actually an auto brake. I'm not sure if this was a normal equipment with these old 100s. Could be, but I'm not sure. And this here is also fabulous because this is a takeoff card. And the thing is, if you go here and you start changing, so fuel is more than enough. Let's add a little bit of passengers. So the weight is now, see, now we're at 33,100 pounds. I don't think you can switch this to kilograms, but it will give you the V1 rotation, V2, the V climb, and the flap speeds for that particular weight. How many Freeware aircraft have something like that? It's amazing. This is the GPWS landing, so usually you would land somewhere between 15 and 35. And in order to quiet down the GPWS, you would switch to whatever flaps you're intending to land with. 35 is probably for very short field landings in order to be as slow as you possibly can. Yeah, and so many really realistically looking, yes, I know not high fidelity, but realistically looking things. It's really nice. Let's bring that into the taxi position because in flight it will actually deploy. So we should now not have them deployed yet. Press to reset, so we still have a warning. Here you can set the altitude, and the good thing is also standard commands work. So if you have hardware, you can actually use this. It's just a bit slow. Here's your nav radios. So there's a clock. It has ET mode and one or two things you can actually do, stop the time and things like that. I probably will forget anyway. Then we have those switches here for the synchro phase and the anti-skid setting. There are annunciators here as well. Then down here, this is very realistic looking. Yeah, here's the engine ECU modes. They are on at the moment. And they have implemented somewhat of an engine control unit. It's not like the real thing, but it kind of tries to do at least similar things. but I think they regulate the RPM and not the. I forgot. They implemented something that works similar and limits the output, but not exactly how it would be in the real aircraft. So hydraulic pressure, so we have lots of hydraulic pressure. There's the flaps indicator, gears. This is the AFCS, so we should be seeing then the autopilot, autoflight, was it AFCS control system? Yeah, I think here you can regulate the brightness. Okay, not all switches are coded. And then look at this here. This is also something that's quite fabulous. So at the moment, we've got actually the APU on in order, for example, to have air conditioning and heating. The APU normally in this aircraft is not intended to produce a lot of electricity. For that, you would connect the external power. But I think it's mainly there to have the bleed air, which actually is not on. So let's turn it on. And then you can activate the bleed. Is it off or on now? It's not quite clear. I'm a bit confused now. I think that is on, but I couldn't tell you. I'm a bit confused now. Anyway, here's the fasten seatbelt. So normally down is on, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so here you can see the position light, for example. Here we have a two-state switch, so red beacon light is up, and if you want to switch to red and white, the anti-collision light, you kind of turn it down through the off position. Logo lights, when it's dark, it has become bright in the meantime. Taxi lights, okay, so here's all the air stuff and the anti-ice stuff. A lot of it is actually coded, and by the way, there's something that's supposedly in-op, but you can kind of use it but I have to read it in the manual again. I was just having a quick browse through it. So really well done. I'm not sure if the fire tests are coded in any form. No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, okay. So well done. Down here you have the levers. Let's bring them back in the cutoff position. Here are all your radios, and the transponder is it not on yet, right? Yeah, there it is. So we need to turn it on. It's in standby position. And there's actually the TCAS system. Let's turn that. No, that doesn't. Or TCAS system. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's coded actually. Right, so that's a very quick browse here through the cockpit. It looks really good, and I would say I'm going to go now through the before start checklist. It's not an automatic one. It's actually for general Dash-8s, and there might be some things in there that we cannot use here, but I use it anyway. So DC power is on and checked. Pressurization is set. So normally you would put this here on auto, and then you would does that work actually? Doesn't look like it's doing anything. No. That's the cabin altitude. It's manual. But again, nothing much happening here. So when you put it in the manual position, you can do it manually, but you usually leave this on automatic. I guess this is the starter, by the way. Again, here is the APU running. You don't hear much of the APU, so there isn't really a sound set where you can hear the APU. So passenger signs, they are on. Emergency lights, they are not coded, aren't. Fueling on light is out. I don't think... do we have that here? No. Fuel as required. Well, we have enough trims set. Yeah, so... Oh, there is... I forgot to do another view because I used my view settings from the Q300, but unfortunately the Q300 is quite different to this one here. So I'm going to set this view. That's the one that I forgot. Yeah, so what did I want to see? Fueling, on-light fuel is required. Trims, yeah, I wanted to see the trims, and the trim settings are here. So rudder trim is 0, aileron trim is 0. And this one you can try and bring sort of in the takeoff position, and that should do. Again, this is not realistic, yeah, but it's an approximation, but a good one at that. Next, power condition levers, disk fuel off. I told you already about the disk position. Power condition, yeah, FMS, ACARS. So we need to set this, and we haven't done this. Now I'm not going to use the GTN. I just had it running, so good to show you. But I will use the standard here. So let's go to flight plan. We're flying as usual from Stuttgart to Munich. Shouldn't be any surprises with this one. The departure will be the APTA 4 Hotel, runway 07. No active runway. Why are you saying that? Where's the clear button? Yeah, so they've changed it a bit. Clear, climb, cruise, test, hold, fix. Where's the clear? There we go. Then let's go to the arrival. ILS 08 left, vectors, and so that should do it. Nope, that didn't work. Oops. That's a new one. APTA 4 Hotel, runway 07. Let's execute that. Legs. There we go. This is not simulating the original FMC, but it's the standard. Yep, looks good. And yeah, I don't think, yeah, okay, climb, so we can do here, target speed, yeah, definitely not 290, I would, yeah, good question. I would think that our climb speed is, yeah, I don't have numbers now. So, oh yeah, here, V climb is 127, so target speed for the climb, let's do 130. We don't have auto throttle here, okay, so this is more like, and the speed limit below 10,000 is 250, that's okay. Transition altitude is 5,000. Now that doesn't work in the standard of XP12 yet, fully. Next is the cruise phase. Ooh. I would think that we are 300? Nah, I doubt it. Yeah, we can see here 200 and something like 220, 230 is probably the speed, which we're aiming for. So let's put that in. Again, we don't have VNAV and auto throttle. Cruise altitude is 14,000, or flight level 140 in this case. And so for the descent, the target speed is, yeah, slash, what would be this good descent speed? Probably, we will probably stick with the 220 or so. See if we can set this. Yep. Mach, no. And again, speed, yeah, 2.5 sounds like it's okay. It's standard, okay? So we're not going to be overly realistic on that end. All right, and that should be enough to, yeah, to do our flight and have a route to follow. Oh, by the way, yeah, when you click on the FMC, they've done it in a way that it also shows up here. It's, well, innovative, I would say, but I'm still sort of torn whether I like it or not. I would have liked the normal window, but still, we do have a proper FMS. Flight instruments and avionics, set course, check takeoff, briefing completed. I mean, the usual, we start from runway 07, run the APTA 4 hotel. Maximum altitude is flight level 140. Since we're not that fast, we're probably going to reach 140 on our way. If for some reason the climb speed, I don't have any numbers here, and unfortunately the manual doesn't give any DASH-100 numbers, so we're going to kind of fly. We let it fly, okay? We'll be okay. Takeoff briefing, electronic flight bag, personal equipment devices are in airplane mode. Well, yeah. APU bleed air. Yeah, we've turned it on. No, now we need to turn it. Oh, it is already off. Okay, so it's off now. Doors closed and lights out. Let's check. Yep, there are. Anti-collision is red. Yeah, we've done that already. Recirc fans are off. And I think they are. Well, we only have on, yeah, do we? No, we only have one switch for that. Transponder as required. Next is the before start. That was before start, now comes the after start. So starting, this checklist doesn't really describe very well. We are on a non-push position. So let's see if we can get this going. So the first thing you do is you go to the start panel. Whoops, no. The first thing you do that you make sure that these switches are in the normal position. Actually, it should be off. Yeah, it's a bit confused now why it's doing that. Nah, anyway, and then you select one of the two engines. Let's start with number 2. And then you stay on the button. And when a certain, I think 7 or 8, you move the lever into the start position. All right. Looks like it's stable. We then switch to here and then stay on it again. Wait to about also, I think a nice prop animation. And I think you can't hear that. I forgot to turn on the sound. Ah, well. Now you will hear it. It was very quiet, but now you can hear actually the engine noises. Startup and all, it sounds quite well. And yeah, we've got everything running. I think once both engines are running, DC power off, checked, anti-ice, air conditioning, aux pumps, auto feather selected. Does it say anything about the... No. So I think what I need to do now is bring those into the minimum position. Because normally then also the generators will start. Alright. Main bus tie, and we can turn off the external power. We activate the AC power. We are stopping the APU, which is winding down now. And auxiliary, secondary, I'm not sure if secondary inverters, are they on or are they not? It's a bit hard to say. This is probably off, so we need to turn them on. Then air conditioning, recirculating, would turn that on. DC power, anti-ice. So we don't need anti-ice, we can leave them off, but we're going to turn on the pitot static and also the heat, the window heat. Pilot's side window heat, windshield heat normal, and I can turn on the side window heat if it would steam up. I'm not sure if I can turn off the ignition now. No, I can't. So looks like it's okay. Then to the autopilot here. Yaw damper on. Yeah. Volts, loads and temperatures. Yeah, let's assume they're okay. Hydraulics on and checked. Actually, the hydraulic pumps, I think they need to be in the normal position. And I think they are. So yeah, you can't do anything here. The elevator is checked. Elevator. Is that what he meant? De-ice pressure checked. Yeah, you can probably run now some tests. I'm going to not do it now. Takeoff data briefed and set. Well, yeah, we have our speeds, which that gives us here. So we're going to rotate. Oh yeah, and we're going to take off with flaps 5. So I put the flaps into position 5, and that means we're going to rotate at 98, around 100 knots. And we fly out with 105 knots. Power rating as required. We're going to have takeoff power top. And yeah, that's it until the before takeoff. Now let's turn on the taxi light. Yeah, that's one of these XP12 sound effects. I'm not sure now if I need to if I stay on minimum, but my guess is that during taxi and all, you probably stay on the minimum setting. I'm going to let it go. Oh yeah, and we are very fast. Maybe I should actually bring this down into the unfeathered position, because we are extremely fast. I remember that from my first test flight. Yeah, that's too much. Okay. Yeah, and you see we're accelerating quite a bit. Yeah, you need to get used to that. Whoa, and the steering is also extremely. Oh, this is all very, very sensitive. And you need the steering tiller.
Yeah.
let's put on the parking brake. And yeah, let's go through the before takeoff items. Before takeoff checklist, runway instrument departure stop altitude. Yeah, we also need to turn on the landing lights. Turn off the taxi lights, I'm assuming. Cabin EGPDWS on. EPDGWS, where was that? What I remember we definitely need to do is have the anti-skid on, and I'm not sure about the synchro phase. Transfer is off. Fuel tank auxiliary pumps are on. They need to get on, as far as I know. Flight controls. Checked. Flight taxi switch now has to go into flight, because that automatically will deploy spoilers if we have to abort. Caution lights checked, so the caution lights are here, all out. Transponder. The transponder is set. Ice protection we don't need. Bleeds minimum. So for takeoff, the bleed setting have to go into the minimum position. Actually, I just realized I may need to do something here. What's that? There's manual. Packs are manual or auto. Are they off now or are they on? Strange noise. So bleeds are. It's hard to say. Can't really put them into minimum, right? Or am I? Oh no! Here is the switch. I guess that's the minimum position. Let's assume. Where was I? Before takeoff checklist. After start, yeah, before takeoff. Caution lights, transponder, ice protection, bleeds, lights on before takeoff checklist completed, and then we have the after takeoff checklist. Okay, so by the way, you can get rid of this thing if you don't need it, and you just need to find the click spot, which is a bit hidden. And one of the reasons probably why we're getting so fast is the fact that I'm not in the disk position. I guess that is part of the problem, yeah. That's the roll spoilers are on, yeah, and I'm using the brakes in parallel so that it doesn't get too fast. I need to figure out, maybe I have to really try and program my joystick, because this is actually alright, stop, parking brake. Now we bring the levers fully forward, and actually what we need to do now is also set up the autopilot. So for one we need to, and there's the heading, yeah, so heading is 072, yeah, that's fine, is it? Course, heading no 69, and the altitude we want to achieve is 14,000. I have to see if I find a better checklist that represents more this aircraft. Oops. It's important because then what you can do is you can actually program the autopilot. The way you, I think, do it is first we take off, then I can use the IAS mode, which will then keep the current speed. I guess this is the V speeds here. 104 is V2 and 127, that's probably this here, is the climb speed. So I will try and get to the yellow, I think. Get to the yellow, try and keep the yellow, and yeah, then we see. We will see what happens. Hello? Oh, when you do it too much. Okay, I think I brought it to the wrong position. Turn this thing on here again. And rotate. Come on. Ooh. Alright. Oh, where's the flight director? I forgot to turn the flight director on. Flight director, flight director. Aux. Yeah, I think I should have probably... Well, anyway, let's gear up. And flaps up. I'm activating IAS mode and the autopilot. Now we got the flight director. Looks like I have to reduce the sound part a bit. I think it's quite loud. Okay, so we're climbing out now with probably around 127 to 130. It's hard to read this here. And so flaps are up. And after takeoff, checklist. So landing gear is up, lights out, flaps 0 set indicating. Yep. Auto feather off. Should have turned it on. I didn't know that. That's alternate. No, it was on. Auto feather off. Bleed on as required. Put it to normal then. Hydraulics normal and checked. Auxiliary aux pumps off. The auxiliary hydraulic pumps, I would think, but we can't do them anyway. Flight attendants released. Yeah. And that's it. So the rest we need to kind of intuitively find out ourselves. So we're still in the wrong mode. Let's go on nav mode. I've veered off course a little bit, as you can see here. We're still on IAS mode, right? Yep. And important, I have to press the Alt cell because otherwise it will not stop. By the way, it's the same in the real aircraft. So that should be What's this here? Pitch VNAV. Well, I'm not sure. Is it still IS mode? Or have I... Yeah, now. 126, yes. Exactly our climb speed. Looks good. Now I think during the climb, so what we can do now is we can actually put this into the max climb position. I forgot to time it, but naja. This is a try and fly and not perfect life. Let's see if there's anything that looks out of the normal. What's our altitude? 7,800. Nice. Yeah, so nothing is in the red, I think. But I guess I can take down some of the settings. I'm not sure how long we have to keep the high RPM, or when I should actually go into the middle position. I think I will take this down a little bit so that we're not overheating or something. Yeah, I don't have the flight plan in there now. I'm not sure if it is possible to actually change the mode. Aha. Yeah, so if you do not have the GTN, can I turn the GTN off again? I can't turn it off. Okay. Oh, yes, I can actually. Okay. So let's see. But yeah, with the GTN. Oh, there we go. So I'm a little bit confused because I don't see. Uh-oh. I think I killed my flight plan. Oh, not so good. Okay. To have two navigation systems is not always a good idea. Let's quickly try and hack in that flight plan again. Execute. And then arrival. EDDM, ILS 08 left, vectors, execute, flight plan or legs, Magat. There we go. We are completely wrong. Let's go to execute. Where's Abtal? Yeah, I was afraid of that. Let's see if we can get this in there again. Execute. Not too bad. Actually, we're okay. We are okay. What about the range? The range is here. And okay. Yep, I'm not sure how you get rid of all these things here. It's a little bit convoluted. And what I also... yeah. Now we are on the red line. I think. Are we? Are we still in nav mode? I don't think so. Uh-oh. This doesn't look good. LNAV. We are on LNAV, right? No, it says... It says localizer. Okay. No, this doesn't look good. Where are we actually flying here? We're flying now towards the west. No, that can't be it. Oh, direct to Abtal, execute. Okay, so we got a little bit confused here. I'll select this. Okay, we are almost at 14,000 or flight level 140. Yeah, I got a bit confused here with these things. So let's see. Here's the GPWS stuff. Okay. That thing do? Oh, it switches between TAS and... Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's correct now. Yeah. Now we're flying towards Munich again. Very good. I have to read about this VNAV thing and what it exactly does. Not sure what these two buttons do. Maybe I shouldn't press too many buttons. Let's quickly align the heading. Yeah, very nice. I should have turned off the GTN, I forgot about it actually. It was not a good idea to do it exactly while we are in flight. 10,000, so let's turn off those lights here. Did I actually? No, I never did the strobes. Here we go. 1,000. Let's check that the alt cell mode stops us from climbing. Looks good. And now I think we can let it accelerate. Let's see what happens with the speed. So I leave the current setting. And we're going to speed up a bit. .20. Oh, I just realized the barometer is not... No, now it is standard. Okay. So 160 knots. Let's check that we don't have any speed brakes. Nope. The outer model looks really good, and as I say almost every time, even older models like this, they look a bit better in XP12 just due to the new way of doing the the surfaces and reflections kind of thing. That's something that XP12 does really well. Let's check our frames. They are 47, 45. That's actually not bad. Let's go into the cockpit. Yeah, still a few frames less, but not much. So this is also an easy aircraft on your frames. So we're now at 170 something, 175 knots. So we're slowly but surely accelerating. Yeah, I'm not sure how fast it will actually go. As far as I remember, at some point you would bring the prop to the 1050. Now let's see what that does with the end. We're going to go into max cruise. Max cruise. Now let's see if that will slow us down or if that would hold the speed or what it will do. At the moment it looks like we're holding the speed. Oh yeah, let's 10950 for the ILS. Do we actually have a DME readout here somewhere? So we're now turning. Yeah, it's correct. I think these red markers here, yep, I think I need to bring the throttle lever to the red marker. So let's do that, see if anything looks like it's out, all borderline, but there are, yeah, the ITT, I'm not sure, but 700, yeah, I think it's okay. We're under 800. We are, so let's try and get 1050 somehow, a little bit unsymmetric. And now we're getting faster, but we are slightly over, so I'm going to bring back. Synchronize the heading. Yeah, 200 knots. I think that's normal. Sounds like a good speed. Right, now we are 56 nautical miles from Magat. At this speed, yeah, I would think that somewhere around 30 nautical miles will probably start a descent. Oh yeah, need to find out where you can turn this off. It said something here, so full arc. Ah yeah, you can then terrain or not. Okay, yeah. Map. Ground speed. That's what should be shown. Off. Yep. We're on RNAV 1. That's decision height. Question is, where is it displayed? Ah, there. You can put that to 200. Decision height. What does that do? Nothing. The two displays are linked. Yeah. Oh yeah, weather radar. I kind of thought that we can do some stuff with the map, but I'm not sure if I find that now quickly. Fuselage, cockpit, Q series, Q100 map display. The map can be on the HSSI. Yeah, CRT display. To narrate. Just have to be careful that we're not getting past our intended top of descent. Let's quickly check here. 46. Yeah. Autopilot. AUX FMS. Yeah, FMS as nav source is the AUX button. We've done that. Down above the autopilot. Please announce it is next to the shows FMS heading distance to airport. If less than 15 descent, alert. If a top of descent and autopilot disengaged, alert. VNAV indicates armed or captured. Aha. Not sure what that actually means. Let me check the flight plan. So Magat 5000 is given. Okay. Vert alert. Is that vertical alert or what? But I think it's a little bit too early to start the descent. Engine controls, NAVCOM and ATC radios, decision height, we've already found that one. Speed backs. Yeah, by the way, you can move these speed backs. Lighting, cockpit lighting, instrument panel, overhead panel, yeah. Test button, throttle prop and lever. Aileron. Yeah, unfortunately they don't show how you can declutter the navigation display. There are probably standard commands that you can use for that. I just don't have them now ready, or maybe there is another panel. By the way, this steering tiller on and off. Oh, I forgot about that one. Oh, okay. What have we got here? Yeah, most of these do not work. That's a propeller test. Yeah, some of the tests have been implemented. $37 miles. Yeah, I think we need to start getting ready for our descent, so I'm dialing in the 5000. Would that be ice or what? No, I think it's just looks like dirt on the screen. So what's the DME? 33. So let's go into IAS mode. I'm now bringing down the props to 900. And that already starts our descent. I'm going to use the Alt Cell button. And now I need to power down a little bit more because we want a slightly higher descent rate. I use the throttles for that. Keeping 200 knots. Is that, oh, that's the speed. It's a speed bug, but it's, I'm not sure what kind of speed bug that is. So how many miles? 28. Okay, approach. Flight attendants advised, caution lights checked. Altimeter set cross-checked. GPWS landing flap set. Yes, we are going to... I guess flaps 15. Then aux pumps on. Is that, or is that fuel pumps? I can't remember. No, I don't think that's fuel pumps. No, it is. Must be the. Oh no, hang on. It is a fuel pumps. Yes. What am I thinking here? They're actually still on. I should have turned them off. The checklists are not very good. They're not as comprehensive as I would need it. EGPWS is on. Approach briefing complete, and then comes the landing checklist. Hydraulic on and checked. Flight attendants advised. Condition levers max. Okay, we need to bring back bleeds in minimum. Landing gear 3 green. Okay, okay. With 22 miles, we are 11,500. So we theoretically need 18 miles. Yeah, I think it's fine. So we can, yeah, a little bit more, I think. Alright, now the question is, can we actually see the ILS? Probably not in that mode. Let me dial in 109.5 here as well. Okay. miles, 8,000. I think we should be fine when it comes to altitude. Miles to Magat. 8 miles. Now I'm going to switch to heading mode because I need to, I think it's switching to VL, yes, and now we need to bring in the right course, which is 8-2. Alt select is still on. Yeah, we're almost at Magat. 4 miles. Yep, I think we're fine. And we need to get slower now. So the approach speed, VREF is with flaps 15 is 98, so we're landing in and around 100. Okay, altitude, acquiring altitude, and I'm going to activate nav and approach mode. So arming, a localizer and glide slope. Glide slope acquired, localizer green. So heading. On the glide slope. 10 miles. Getting slower, I might. Let's stay on minimum because I don't seem to be able to slow down. Yeah, now. 40. Flaps 1 or flaps 5. Landing lights. I'm not sure if I make everything the way it's supposed to be. Well, we're on the localizer, we're on the glide slope. We have 4 miles. Could probably do the landing checklist now. Hydraulics on, flight attendants advised, condition levers max, bleeds, min, landing gear 3 green, flaps set and indicating. Yeah, we've got flap 15. And the speed is slowly approaching the 100. 1000. Check. You need to kind of fine-tune with the throttle so that you don't get too fast. We're actually accelerating at the moment, and we're at 110 now. I'm taking it back a little bit because we need to reach about 100, 98 to 100. 500. Check. So I've reached now the reference speed. Autopilot off. 300. The trim is a bit jerky. I have difficulties here. That's something that you need to get used to, I suppose. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Okay. There's actually an auto brake which I forgot to turn on, and I don't think we have. No, we don't have reverse. Oh, and there's another thing. I had. No. Well, actually, it did something like reverse, but it wasn't very effective. But I completely forgot to turn that off. Okay. The checklist isn't very good. It's not very comprehensive, so you tend to forget things like that. Well, anyway, it wasn't too bad. You really need to get used to it, and let's get off here and then quickly clean up. Runway vacated. And let's quickly go through the after landing checklist. Control lock on. Yeah. Indeed. Radar off. MFD electrical system transponder is required. Trims set. Flaps. I guess you will probably have to bring it up again. Flaps 0 indicating. Aux pumps off. Yaw damper off. Flight taxi switch into taxi position. Lights as required. Anti-eyes off. Well, we haven't really used any. Bus tie on. Oh, was it supposed to turn it off? Can't remember that in the other checklist. APU is required. Yeah, so we could turn on the APU now, I suppose. Let's do that. And yeah, I think I need to have a go at with the axis and just see how it would be if I really do this. So let's go to the throttle here, other response curve, and let me quickly. So how do we? How were we doing this? Plus. No, a cut more, no. How did that? Normal throttle, oh yeah, here. With beta reverse detents, let's try that. Well, this isn't really doing it, so let's see again. The response curves, so this is the beta range and then would be reverse. Doesn't seem to pick it up though. What else have we got? Normal throttle, halo, throttle detent, FADEC detents, reverse and FADEC detents. No, it must be the beta reverse. Yeah, but that does not really work. No. Oh, hang on, maybe because I have to put this into minimum. Let's see if that makes a difference. No. According to the stop. According to the manual, it should pick it up. Obviously, it's not as easy. So let's clear that thing again and try that again. Just normal, beta reverse, apply, done. Now, as you can see, this is not working. Yeah, I'm going to reverse that again. Anyway, I think this is a great Freeware airplane. It flies quite okay. With the axis, I need to see if there is a better way to set this up, because taxiing is actually, in my view, is too fast. So this is very jerky as well. So I need to probably do some fine tuning. But all in all, I find this really great. So thanks very much, Monkey1 and Rivière, to do all the work and create such a fine freeware project here. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use this, at least for myself, a couple of times. For example, flying in Greenland, if I find decent sceneries. Yo, thanks very much for watching, and until next time.